Catus Maximus here, this time with a review of a 5-piece double-ended wrench set from High Test Tools. These are actually Indian-made tools right there. And these were probably one of the earliest of, maybe not the earliest, I think I'm not sure if they're still around, they may still be, of making very cheap tools. These are not the cheapest box wrenches I've seen. That still has the cake taken by this terrible Chinese wrench. But they're still pretty cheap tools. You kind of find them in the bargain bins at hardware stores, that type of stuff. Although I do find this little metal container or holder pretty interesting just because the way it clips on, holds on pretty well. And then it's spring-loaded to kind of keep the wrenches from beating around. We do have kind of an interesting selection here, mainly because it goes from 5/16 through 3/4 inch, but we have a couple of extra odd sizes, such as 13/32 and 19/32. Since there's 10 different sizes from 5/16, I find it a little bit odd that they included a couple of 32nd sizes instead of having it just be by 16ths, maybe giving you 13/16 and a 7/8 wrench. A little bit odd. There's some, I mean, these are definitely kind of cheesy. There's a much brighter chrome finish on the small wrench compared to the rest of them. You know, they are straight, quote-unquote drop forged. Who knows what the quality of the steel is, that's for sure. They're thin, they're small, they're cheesy little wrenches. Not a lot else to say about them. Besides, you should probably be aware if you see any high-test tools that they are not. They are low-quality tools. Although there's been some pretty low-quality hand tools that have come out of India, and so I would say that these are better Indian quality hand tools. Kind of like some of the Indian stuff Harbor Freight sells. These seem to be just about the same level of quality. They are not absolute cheapest. They are not as bad as some of the worst Chinese stuff. Surprisingly enough, we can see the way they all stack that they're all pretty darn straight, which is admittedly a little bit surprising. So I was searching around and could have sworn I had done a video on some other high-test tool, but I couldn't. So since I ran into these, I figured it was probably time that I added some high-test tools to my database. And for the informational purposes too. If you see any high-test tools that show up, you know, for sale on online classifieds or garage sale, remember they are not some magical, unheard of premium brand. They really are just cheesy, kind of cheap budget hardware store tools. Hardware store bargain bin tools, I should say. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.